So, this new heli is going to change base designs in Rust forever. We have the target in sight, locked and loaded, firing for effect. Okay, Big, you missed the whole base. Johnny, I wasn't shooting for the base. So what were you shooting for then? Cinematic value. The way this heli works is it has an inventory and you can use HVs in this inventory. The max would be 54 here, although I would argue that you shouldn't fill it up and most likely use flares. We'll go over why later. The strongest thing about this heli, in my opinion, is the fire rate and accuracy of the HVs. By flying up a bit and holding mouse 1, you see 6 HVs shot in quick succession. There is a 5-second cooldown and then 6 more HVs can be fired. I've been holding mouse 1 down the entire time. The HVs also alternate between being fired from the bottom left and bottom right of the heli itself. You can see here, if we aim at the middle of the crack with the crosshair, we don't actually shoot through the gap itself. However, if we adjust our crosshair to the left or right, depending on which side the HV is shooting from, then we can indeed fine-tune where it goes. This is a direct counter to the most commonly used turret pods in modern Rust-based designs. I can show you how easy they are to break, even for a mediocre pilot like myself with less than 1 hour of total flight time with this new heli. So now it basically comes down to which turrets to use on your roof. Now don't judge this roof piece by piece, it's pretty generic. There are many versions of these, but to be honest, they are actually trivial to break. I don't see these being as useful as they are now. These turrets are a bit better. You can aim through the middle now and hit the turret, but I wouldn't even do that unless the sides were not visible to you. These side angles are what make this turret very weak to the heli. I would argue that these, the most basic turret pods, are actually on the stronger side now. Although they are very weak to spamming a few rockets very quickly because of the larger opening in the two sides of it. I mean, all of the turrets essentially got nerfed by a good pilot now, but I do have a potential fix. These turrets, in my opinion, are much better. They are hidden away from all horizontal lines of sights and accomplish the same coverage on the roof. You can kinda get a feel for their LOS here. In a more developed roof design like here, you could see one on each side like this and you're always visible to at least 3 of them, even if you lose one of them with the frames in front here. The strongest part about these is that they are impossible to hit while at the same height as them, as in flying in the heli. The only way to hit them is by lowering your height significantly, which in turn makes you visible to a lot of the other base defenses such as these windows, a ton of angles, even the compound to a certain extent. This is what you want since it will give you an additional chance to take out the heli before it does critical damage. If you're offline when this heli comes, you're f***ed. Okay, so here's 3 different versions of this. Let's pretend that this is our roof here. So this is our first one, the most common one you'll probably use and see. It's done on 1 square and has a lot of frames. This one I would argue is actually better, but uses less frames, making it stability dependent. Since you don't have all the frames on the front, it has much better visibility. This is just another version of this one. It has extra frames on a triangle in the back to bring up the stability. So square or triangle, you'll build the one that fits your base design the best. For the first one, if you need the stability, which you usually will, you can bring up the frames on all sides to your desired height. Place a triangle on the back side, and essentially this is a normal triangle turret pod here. Next we can place on half walls around the square and seal it all off. A pretty simple build. There are some other things you could potentially do here, like fences or cell gates. It's really up to you. For the second one, you'll build up to your desired height once again with wall frames and place the same triangle turret pod on the top of it. However, in this case, there are no frames on the front to build the rest of the half walls on, so to fix this we can use a square floor frame and put the half height walls above that, then seal the top off. The third one, once again, is the same as the second one with an additional triangle on the back for stability. We can build that quickly here, and you quickly get to see how the choice on which one of these you use is highly dependent on the base design itself. That is because I literally had to change the shape of the foundations under it to fit it in. And that is pretty much the idea. I onwe ote eskuste ithwe ude odete. If you have anything to add, please let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.